There are just so many products that have been produced by Braun. There's coffee grinders, food processors, electric toothbrushes, flash units, light projectors, camera, hairdryers, shavers, a lot of shavers, lighters, a lot of lighters, clocks, an awful lot of clocks, radio, audio equipment, a lot of audio equipment. I'm Peter Kapos. I run Programm, which is an archive of Braun products. The mechanical system of a desk fan is different from the mechanical system of a coffee grinder. So they have formally a very different kind of sort of level of expression. Somehow they managed to find a way of balancing that kind of attention with a different language, which is in the audio category, which is the language of cuboids. And they still belong broadly to the same Braun universe, but have very different forms of expression. The utopianism of that is that it's like the objects are people, and the whole Braun program is like a society, and difference is tolerated and kind of celebrated within unity. So it's a kind of like slightly hippie version of kind of like an ideal society that's being modelled by like household products. The other thing is this question of timelessness and design, which is bullshit. And this idea that Braun design is somehow good design. Like that comes out of this nonsense around the 10 principles. Design isn't a thing that can be defined as good or bad. There are moments in which things are interesting or less interesting, useful or less useful. Even if you look at the 10 principles, they're not actually of any use to any designer. They're so abstract and general. You need to look out the window and think about what's happening and what's required. What do those conditions call for? And it might be the thing that wasn't useful yesterday is useful now. And design is that. It is that relationship between human beings and their environment. I think at the moment we're at a bit of a kind of inflection point. We're moving towards the total dematerialization of all equipment, where you don't, as a user, have anything to do with your audio equipment at all. You may not even know where in the house it is. How does all this apparently magical stuff happen? It's through buried cables, satellites. I mean, it's the most hardware that you can imagine, really. Like, the infrastructure is insane. It's all very convenient, and in a way, we're kind of very dependent on it. I think it's a kind of luxury that comes out of this sort of idea of frictionlessness, which really are illusions, because they don't produce happiness, I think, ultimately. And they belong to a kind of a category of experience which is fragmented attention. So when people want something concrete, real, they want to be present, analog, and a record. And even the fact that you're going to have to get up from your seat and change the side at some point, that's become desirable. I mean, it's funny because, there used to be a problem. So they developed record changers. You don't have to get up from your seat. I think now, actually, it's desirable to get up from the seat. It partly is because it reminds you that you've been in the seat and that you've been given something, your attention.